This is Pat. Is it any better?
Christian, how you doing?
Christian, I still can't hear you.
Hey, good evening. This is Mike Dockett. Can you hear me?
Yes, Commissioner, we can hear you.
Hi there. Hey, there's a Jim Matuzis is listed as an attendee, but he's the should be a panelist. He's presenting on the project tonight.
Okay, Christina, are you on?
Yes, I just made him a panelist.
Okay, perfect. Thank you.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm hoping Christian can get his sound on soon. Only thing I am going to try to get my laptop going now. The only thing is there is a lot of interference, Christina. I don't know where it's coming from. Is there any way we can maybe mute everyone, if that would work?
Trying to figure out the culprit so I can get that settled.
Okay, thank you so much.
No problem.
Okay, so I'm hoping that Christian can get his audio on soon. So I'm going to start the meeting. Christina, do you know if we have a quorum yet? How is it? I'm going to see if I could see.
Let's see. 21. Not yet, no.
Not yet. Okay. So I'm going to call to order tonight's meeting, Tuesday, June 14, 2022, Community Board 4. Thank you all for joining us. We don't have a quorum right now, so we're going to wait a bit to vote on the minutes from the May 10th meeting. So as soon as we get a quorum, we can vote on that. And I know we have, I'm going to start with my chairperson's report. I know Christian does have a report, so I'm hoping he can get his audio on so we can successfully hear him tonight. So I just want to start off that happy Father's Day. I know Father's Day is coming up this month, so happy Father's Day to all the fathers on the board. And I hope you enjoy the day. And of course, this is our last meeting before summer break. So we are not in session for July and August. We will be still sending emails. Of course, any events, any updates, we'll send emails out, so you can look out for that. And the only time a committee, a committee might have to meet, depending on what we need to vote on for the September meeting. So keep an eye on that for the committee meetings if you do have to vote on something this summer. And yeah, we are going to have some, of course, events going on. So keep an eye out for the emails. Hopefully everyone can participate and, throughout the summer and stay connected that way. And I just want to say, we have a few little updates. The firehouse in Elmhurst, we did get the presentation back in March. And so, it's an ongoing issue. We're on top of it. We're communicating with everyone. We did send out 2 letters to Councilmember Shaker, Krishnan, and also Councilmember Robert Holden, because the firehouse does pertain to parts of his district. So I know he is concerned about that. So we did send out those letters on Friday. So we will keep everyone updated on the news on, we don't want to lose service in the community. We do think that the city is going to provide the trailers that are needed to keep the firehouse and the service in the community of Elmhurst. And they do also service the surrounding areas as well. So it's a pretty busy firehouse. So we're keeping an eye on that and making sure that the right thing happens and we don't lose any time in terms of emergency response. So we'll give you guys any updates we get on that, but we are on top of it. And I also want to say I did attend Borough Board last week. We voted on a smoke-free housing resolution that basically gives the landlord of a multi either rental property, just like a multi-family, whatever property, the right to make their building smoke-free. So I did abstain. I actually voted no because basically we didn't actually see the presentation. We didn't see the resolution, the board, so I didn't vote on the board's behalf. But Board 4 in the past has voted for smoke-free New York City. So if anybody wants to see a copy of that resolution, we will be including it in the email recap that will be sent out. So you got a copy of that. But it was voted yes. The resolution did pass by Borough Board. So you guys will be getting that if you're interested in reading that. And I think for now, that's it from my report. I don't know if Christian is still having any issues with his audio. Christina, has he had any help?
No, he's off camera right now, so I think he's still trying to figure it out.
Okay. So I know Christian has a report and he has a public comment to read. So how's the quorum looking?
Still no go.
Okay.
Carolina, should
Okay,
I report on the bylaws committee?
Yeah, so we'll skip over. We'll go back to the minutes for May, and we'll go back to Christian. So Lou, next on the agenda is the bylaw committee. So Lou, as the chairperson, the new chairperson of the bylaw committee, please take the floor.
Okay, thank you. We are working on the bylaw changes that will affect people's attendance regarding those who never come and those who rarely come. What should and should not be done with them. That's what we're working on. And we haven't decided anything yet, but as a board, you will have a chance to see what we come up with and vote on it. Thank you.
Oh, Lou, do you also want to talk about the interim, like in case something happens with the executive board?
Oh yeah, well, we're working on that as well. Also, in the case of people resigning after they've been voted in and before the next election, we're putting a process in place of exactly how they will be temporarily replaced without a full board election again for that position.
Thank you, Lou. So hopefully we can get that
Excuse me.
together for a September meeting.
Yes, we'll have it by then. Thank you.
Thank you, Lou. Thank you so much. Okay. Okay, so Christian is still not on, unfortunately.
Can you hear me?
Oh yeah, we can hear you now.
Yes, I'm here, but it's just a bit fumbling around. You know, I'm using my phone, my tablet. I'm all over the place. But by all means, Marilyn,
you actually,
move on.
Christian, you actually sound fine now.
Yeah, no, it's fine. And that's why it took me so long. But still go on without me just for like another minute or so until I get myself a little together. I have a lot of board members who are having issues signing in, and they're reaching out to me.
Okay, no problem.
In about 2 or 3 minutes, keep at it.
I'm having an issue with my laptop too. That's why I'm on my phone. So I don't know if there's some type of issue tonight. So if you are having issues, please hang in there. Hopefully we can get this all resolved. Okay. So now if we don't have a quorum, we have to move on to the agenda. Thank you everyone for being patient. So we're going to go to we'll do the member attendance. Roanoka Ashka Khan.
Roanoka Khan, present.
Perfect, thank you. Michelle Calderon.
I'm here. I'm here. You can't hear me.
Just wanted to repeat, if any board members have any statements, you can say them now. When I call your name, you have 2 minutes. So just in case, you know.
I'm here. I can't
Michelle, we heard
talk.
you. Yeah, no,
Oh,
Michelle, we
okay.
unmuted you.
All right.
Okay, thank you.
Valerie
problem.
Calderon. Valerie Calderon. Okay. Chao Chun Chen.
I'm here.
Perfect,
Oh,
thank
wow.
you. Jamie Cho.
Hello, I'm present.
Linda Carell. Sharing Deshawn. Michelle Dunstan. Aria Spinall. Leanne G. Bally. Maria Giampino here. Lara Gregory.
I'm here, Madam Chair. Thank you. I missed the last time because it was a struggle to hop in on the call. And I just want to say that I'm just so happy to finally meet our community board for staff. I passed by the office. It's just so wonderful to meet them in person.
I heard, Lara. That's so great that you were able to stop by. Also, I want to congratulate you on your award. I don't know if you want to mention it.
Oh, yeah, thank you. Yes, the Queensborough President's Award during Philippine Independence Day. Yeah, thank you. And it was also a great time to uplift the voices of the LGBTQIA members of our community. June is also Pride Month. And happy Father's Day to those who are fathers or who act as fathers. Thank you, Madam Chair.
Thank you, Lara, and congratulations again, and well deserved. Ramakrishnan Kadukantla. Dapinja Lama. Vincent Lasala.
Good evening. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, I just want to thank Community Board 4, Christian and Ashley, and all the board members who came down to participate in Flushing Meadows at the Queens United Health Fair. It went over very well. I thank you guys for your support, and our club looks forward to partnering with Community Board 4 in the future. And second, happy Pride Month to everyone that is celebrating. And third, I just want to congratulate Ashley Reed on just rocking the Parks Committee. And I can't wait for the presentation and the vote to come up tonight for William F. Moore Park. I think everyone will be pleasantly surprised with what we lay out. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vinny. James Lisa. Salvatore Lombardo. Carol Maholsky. Sunil Mahat. Abu Zafar Mahmood. Patricia Martin.
Yes, I'm here. I just want to say this is our last meeting, so I certainly want to wish everybody a great summer and wish all the dads a happy Father's Day. And I want to remind people moving forward, and I'm hoping Christian and Marielle, when we start in the fall, we can put back on the agenda where we were talking about Jim Galloway having a day. We were going to set aside a position for him on 57th Avenue. I don't know whatever happened to that. It was voted upon, it was approved, and it just went dead. So I'm hoping that my speaking on it will enliven it again. So moving forward in September, I hope we can do something with that. Okay? Thank you
Yeah,
very much.
thank you, Pat, for bringing that up. The board did write a letter, and I know Christian has inquired about it. We haven't heard anything back, unfortunately, so I don't know what the status of that is. So hopefully maybe Christian, if he I know he's gonna go on later. We haven't heard anything back, so I'm hoping we can get that done too, because I met, his sister, and I know everybody is waiting for that as well. So thank you for bringing that up. Okay, Sylvia Martin.
Hi, I'm here. I'm sorry I missed the last meeting. I was Queen's Day in Albany, but I just want to thank everybody that's on Community Board 4 that attended the health fair. We had a wonderful time. I am also on the board of Queens United Lions Club. Thank you for your support, as Vincent said.
Thank you, Sylvia. Matthew McElroy.
I'm here. Thank you very much. Happy holidays to everybody. Have a great summer.
Great, thanks, Matt. Okay, Rovenia McGowan. I guess she's not here tonight. Mac Ryan Merchant.
Present. Good evening, everyone.
Perfect. Jose Murillo. Edgar Moya.
Present.
Perfect, thank you. Ruby Muhammad. Okay, Sandra Munez.
Present. Hello, everyone. And if I don't get an opportunity, happy Pride Month and happy Father's Day. And I echo what Lara said to fathers and to all those who are like fathers to to all of us. And that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. G. Oliver.
Present.
Georgina Oliver.
Georgina's here. She's having some mic issues.
Okay, thank you. Alexander Owens, I know, is excused. Shrima Pandey.
Present.
Peru Panthi. Alexa Ponce. Lindsay Quartini. Brian Ramirez.
Sorry, it's Lindsay. I'm here.
Okay, great. Thank you.
Thank you.
Brian Ramirez. Ashley Reed.
I'm here. I don't know that one.
Thank you. Christian Romero. Clara Salas.
I'm here and wishing everyone a happy and a healthy summer and a happy Father's Day to all fathers. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. A-Red Sevilla. Ergen Sherpa.
I'm here.
Thank you. Alton Derek Smith. Dewan Tariq. Marcello Testa. Charlie Tetevesky.
Here, happy Pride Month, everybody.
Thank you, Charlie. Lou Walker.
Present. Present.
Yilin Wang. Thank you, Lou.
Okay.
Min Wen Yang. Mei Yu. Okay, so we only have 22. We still don't have a quorum, so we're gonna move on. Is Christian ready to go for his report?
Yes, I am. Perfect. Yeah. You know, it was just chaos all at once. It just hit me. We got like all the text and all. But we can hear me okay, right, Maria? Good?
Yep, you're good.
Okay, all right. So look, in no particular order. I mean, I feel like I have a pretty heavy report, not something I normally say, but just bear with me for like a minute or so. To answer your question, Adam, we will be reading your statement. I just received your email to start with. I do have two statements that I want to read at some point. One of them is from the Green Market, and the other one is Adam Wilkes, who has something he'd like to share with the board. But I'll begin with what was already mentioned by Vinny and Marilyn already, the health fair. I can't thank you guys enough. Vinny, you did an amazing job. Vinny was walking around with a sling in his arm with only one arm. The fact that you were able to pull that off is amazing. I was surprised at how many tour buses come around the Unisphere throughout the day. So couldn't have picked a better day. Really, thank you. And I of course want to give a special thanks to some specific board members who I will call out by name. The first one is one of our newest board members, Matt Merchant, who not only came to the event, but he also provided us with an SUV. He was there early in the morning at 9 a.m. with me, and he left at the very end. So Mac, thanks for that. I can't thank you enough for that. The same goes for Michelle Calderon, who manned the table pretty much the entire day. Same for Ashley Reeves. You guys should have received like a quick recap on how the event went, and I saw many other members. I meant to see Malik out there, for former board member Malika Shabazz. I saw Sylvia Martin, Pat Martin. So excellent event. I can't wait to do it again, Vinny. You were absolutely right in saying. Speaking of events, something that CB4 will be partnering up with very soon, also brought up to my attention by Mac, our newest member, one of our newest members rather. We're trying to do a workshop with DCAS, that's Department of Citywide Administrative Services, regarding the civil service servant degree. It seems that there are a lot of city jobs out there, but the concept of taking the civil service exam is always somewhat of a scary endeavor, and we will be partnering up sometime very soon. Sorry, I'm getting somebody's on mute. We'll be partnering up very soon. We're looking at June 29th. Followed by pound. Sorry. Somebody isn't muted. That's fine. Okay, so getting back to it. So we will be partnering sometime very soon with DCAS to do a workshop. But additionally, there is a workshop taking place tomorrow. That's going to be tomorrow, June 15th, from 4 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. done via Zoom. You should have all received it this afternoon. If not, check our web pages, our social media, and you should be able to see it. Again, no particular order. Going down, you could expect sometime in the very near future, we're going to be seeing a substantially large ULIP development coming to our district. Be over at the Bazaar over on 9727 7th Avenue. This is one of the rare cases where the board will be meeting during the summer months via a public hearing. ULIP committee is set to meet at the end of this month, June 28th, to review the application. So of course, we would expect as many board members to join as possible. Are open to the public, but more so to focus on the public hearing that will take place later in the summer months, somewhere between July and or August. As far as our budget concerned, just today we received the budget register. Those who know the budget register, whenever the community board goes through its needs statement, also known as the wish list, we send it out to all the city agencies and we receive a budget report back explaining to us which items we're eligible for, which ones can be funded, as well as city responses to each individual. We received that today, and I would like to share that with the full board. The chairs, you should know what to do with it. Many of the items will tell you, reach out to your agency, reach out to your commissioner, but that's something we'll flesh out at your next committee meeting, so we'll handle that then. As we all know, William F. Moore Park will be presented tonight. Those who know, it's been known in Corona. We should be very thankful, first off, to the city council member, and I believe the borough president also provided funding. You're in for a really good time. The park is getting an entire renovation and just over $3 million, but I'll let the parks decide on that. We were presented with several options, but the committee did its homework. We vetted out all the options, and it was decided that one of the three was clearly the most popular choice, which was apparently also a favorite of the council member. So we should be seeing only option C, aka option 3 tonight. And just pay attention. I think you're in for a really good time to see this park actually. And now what I'd like to do is I will read a few statements. The first one is from the Elmhurst Green Market, who you should have received some flyers for the last couple of days. And if you have not, again, just follow us on social media, follow us on Facebook, and you should be getting access to all our flyers. I'll begin with a statement from the Green Market, and then move on to a statement by a community member, Adam Wills. So this came from the Green Market, and this is from Winifred Lee from Grow NYC. Grow NYC Green Market farmers markets are returning to your neighborhood. The Elmhurst Green Market reopened today, June 14th, and it's open every Tuesday until Thanksgiving from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. on 41st to 81st Street behind the hospital. Green Market will return every Friday starting June 24th from 8 to 3 p.m. The market is located on Corona Plaza on Roosevelt Avenue and 103rd Street. We have locally grown fruits, vegetables, and baked goods from the farms in upstate New York, less than 100 miles from our Queens neighborhood. Like years past, we accept cash, SNAP/EBT, senior, and WIC checks. For our SNAP customers, every $2 they spend in SNAP or PEBT, they get an extra $2 health buck, up to $10 per day. We're also happy to share the food scrap collection at Return to Corona Green Market for 821. This is a free service that provides the community with a way to reduce waste and generate compost to nourish community gardens and parks. We did share the attached flyers at their request, and this is from Winifred Lee from Grow NYC. So a huge thank you to Grow NYC. Is something that we've always pushed in our needs statement. We look for a healthy living whenever possible. The obesity, the asthma rates have always been referenced, and the green markets are enormous to that. So thanks to the green markets for all they do, and see needs statement providing us with. And next, I'll report really quickly, or rather, I'll read out a statement sent to us by Adam Wilkes, which comes with the change.org petition, which we will share with you all. But I've also asked Mr. Wilkes, Adam, to share with us any contact information in the chat or with you, the board, should you wish to contact him separately. This should be just over 2 minutes, so just please bear with me. Although, Adam, you were never a member of Board 4, I have to say. Your letter says that you were a letter of Board 4, but I'll read it verbatim as it shows. Dear Community Board 4, my name is Adam Wilkes. I have lived in Jackson Heights for a year, but prior to that, I lived in Elmhurst for 2 years and was a member of. Thank you for providing me the opportunity to comment. Everyone in this country knows that the health insurance system is broken. The U.S. spends $12,000 a person per year on healthcare, while Great Britain spends $5,000. Yet Great Britain actually has better healthcare, not just according to nonprofit rankings, but the hard numbers of long life expectancy and less diseases of almost every kind. And that $5,000 in Great Britain is organized by the government. The government pays for all healthcare in Great Britain, through their National Health Service. There is no private insurance, no premiums, and no exorbitant hospital bills or co-pays. Few national political issues are so potently local issues. Our neighborhoods were the literal epicenter of COVID-19 in the spring of 2020. But we had problems long before the pandemic. Prior to the Affordable Care Act, approximately 1 in 3 Queens residents were uninsured. But 10 years ago, Comptroller Scott Stringer estimated that this community district had 34,000 uninsured residents, number 3 in the city. That is about 20% of residents. We might be half of that now, although Queens still leads the other boroughs with uninsured residents. The New York Healthcare Act, a law labeled A60/58, would place 19 million New Yorkers on one government health insurance. It would end monthly premiums, deductibles, and out-of-pocket expenditure. All medical providers in the state would have to accept it. All hospitals, pediatricians, dentists, physical therapists. A new payroll tax would pay for it. A consensus of experts, including the RAND Corporation, agree that the Health Act is the best way to expand coverage to 1 million insured Americans. It would reduce yearly healthcare costs for 90% of New Yorkers, end differences in quality between networks, and end the inequality in care based on income and immigration status. This has been introduced every year for 2 decades. A majority of Democrats in Albany support it, yet they never vote on it. In their secret negotiations called conference, quote unquote conference, they never prioritized passing the New York Health Act. We can figure out why. There is big money in it, there is big influence in all. The Democratic machines derive its power from private profit. The New York Healthcare Act will end this profit in New York State, but money and power flows down from the Democratic Party leadership. We only have 3 or 4 more sentences later. Now that Mr. Barnum retired, there is an open race for an assembly seat, which includes most of Elmhurst. The machine appears to have given a nod to Mr. Stephen Ragan, but Mr. Ragan has not mentioned New York Healthcare Act in his public communications. He tells me he wants the Health Act, but when I suggest he publicize his belief in it, he dodges. Mr. Ragan is 2 weeks away from a Democratic primary. Now is the time for him to commit to the best healthcare, to the best healthcare vision for the people of the district. Please sign my change.org petition demanding Mr. Ragan clarify where he stands on A60/58, the New York Healthcare Act. Even if the Health Act is not going to happen right now, we need to see his public promise for the political battles of the future. I have known Steve for a while, I volunteered with him, and community food giveaways and cleanups. I think he has the makings of a great assemblyman. As he put on his website, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter, I will take the petition down and even volunteer for him. Please sign for a longer fight. You can also follow Elmhurst Revolution on Instagram where I publicize it. Thank you for having me discuss this. And I'm very sorry, this is actually half of what we received earlier. We did our best to have Mr. Brooks cut it down. Marilyn, I have nothing else to report. Sorry for the report, ladies. Please enjoy your summer, and you'll be here soon. Yeah, you're good? You're muted.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, and you know what? I'm sorry.
Okay,
While I have you
alright.
here, really quickly, because I do have one final note, and I'm sorry. This is Sylvia. Sylvia, Pat, to respond to your question. Yes, the chair Marlena was correct in that we have in fact reached out to the council member's office. I've spoken to his staff myself. We had the intent on inviting him over to a transportation committee meeting. It did go through the motions. I also informed his staff that it is not only one item that we are questioning, but we have several street co-namings that have come to our district, including we have Hakeem Griffin, we have the Miss Williams one, and we have Jim Galloway, all which have all apparently gone through the entire process of the community board, full quorum, fully accepted, in some cases unanimous, but they never got past the city council. And so if in fact there is a staffer here from Councilman Moya's office, by all means, we'd like to comment on it. Otherwise, we will certainly be reaching out to the council member again to figure out why these street died dead in the water. All right, Pat, I hope that helped.
There's no one here from Moya's office right now that I can see.
All right, I mean, we'll certainly follow it up with him. But Pat, we're on you on this. Trust me, we're with you on this one. There's no reason it shouldn't.
Kristen, is there like the street namings fall under any like specific, you know how like the council members have like I can't think of it right now. You know, they have their
Session?
Yeah, exactly. Does
Yeah,
it
as
fall
far as
under?
I understand, and again, of course, unless anybody can tell me otherwise, both Christina and I actually, at the request of the Transportation Committee, and again, it's not that we forgot about it, it's just not an easy thing to find, but we did our best to try to find the minutes of these hearings. But the hearings for street co-namings apparently take place twice per year. And Christina, by all means, or anybody, correct me if I'm wrong, but they take place twice a year. Once is in April and once again in November. But as you know, we've seen many street co-namings take place in half that time, if it's pushed correctly. Christina and I did our best to find the minutes, but again, it's extensive amounts of minutes for us to find exactly where the item was discussed. But we haven't given up on it. But just a really simple answer from somebody from the city council, whose council, you know, the councilman in this case, Francisco Moya's office. If you could just explain to us, that'd be amazing. It would solve all of the searching.
Thank
So
you so much,
Christian,
Kristen.
so Christian's correct. It's only done primarily twice a year, and basically all of the street namings throughout the entire city are voted on all at once. So it's literally like hundreds of street renamings all at the same time. And so we checked, I think, the fall one from last year, and we didn't see anything. And I'm gonna have to double check and see if they voted on it for this block right now. But I don't believe they have yet, but I will double check on that tomorrow.
Okay, thank you, Christina.
No problem.
And
Great.
Marilyn, I'm sorry. Can I just have one more thing, and I promise.
Yeah, it's
last thing.
okay.
This is more so a call for volunteers. But again, what you'll likely is you'll hear it from you'll get an email from me in the next couple of 24 hours. On Saturday, June 25th, the mayor's office is celebrating Immigrant Heritage Month, and we got a call today from Fiora Fung, our representative over at the New York City Commission on Human Rights, with the opportunity to table. So as we did at this last health fair, I will be looking for volunteers for those board members who have the free time. By all means, come out. It's on Saturday, June 25th from 9 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. We'll be setting up tables, giving out giveaways. There's a pretty solid agenda with some, giveaways and raffles and everything throughout the day. But next 24 hours, you should be receiving a flyer from us, and I'll be looking for volunteers for any members who'd like to join. Right, and I am officially done. Thank you.
Thank you, Christian. So we're going to be, unfortunately, we still don't have a quorum. We have 23 board members on right now, so we cannot vote for the May minutes. I hope that there'll be some people signing on because, we do have an item to vote on tonight. So we will keep you posted on that. I'm going to move on to the legislator list. Christina, is there any actual elected officials on the call, or is it all representatives tonight?
Just representatives right now.
Maria Elena.
Carol, you're on?
I just got on because I couldn't get the computer to work and I couldn't get the phone to work initially, but I managed to get the phone now. Just wanted you to know I'm here.
Great, thank you, Carol. So we need one more board member on, so thank you, Carol.
Well, that doesn't give us a quorum though, right?
I know, we're
still like
one
too
person.
short. Well, no, we're still too short. I had counted Carol when I gave you that.
You did, okay.
Yeah.
Did we count Michelle Calderon earlier? Because I know
Yes.
she had. Okay,
Yes,
we did. I
we
want to make
did.
Yeah,
sure.
I
Michelle,
have
we
all
do
the
see
phone
you.
people already counted. We need 2 more.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so we're
Uh,
going to be moving on to the legislator list.
I have the
Christina, is there?
names. Yeah, I
Okay.
have the names of the reps who are here. So first we're gonna go with Samantha from Assemblymember Cruz's office.
Okay, great.
Hold on a second. Samantha, I think you should be able to speak. Samantha?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. Yes, just give me 1 second. Okay, so my name is Samantha. I'm a part of the Assemblywoman Catalina Cruz's team, and I'm representing her for today's meeting. So I just wanted to update you guys on last month's community events. First of all, the most recent one that we've had was Pride Prom, which was last Wednesday. And you know, it was the Assemblywoman did this for the LGBTQ plus community, for the youth, somewhere that they can have you know, their own space and feel very comfortable. And we had 2 drag queens perform for us, and it was very, very nice and fun. We've also been visiting senior centers. Welcome back to summer events. And she's going to be doing more in the weeks to come. We also did a Get Ready to Vote with Naleo. We did a webinar with them. Some of the community events that it's coming up, we're going to be continuing doing community cleanups in the district. And I just wanted to, as I always say, our district office services. We help with DOL issues, helping with reporting EWF reports, grand larceny cases, public assistance issues like food stamps, HEAP, one-shot deal. HEAP is also doing like a cooling, like a summer program for anybody that needs any ACs. They're helping out with that because it's summer. And we've also helped with assisting with applying for ERAP, even though there is no funding at the moment, but that still can apply, that still can be helpful if the landlord decides to take them to court. So we still help with that. But yeah, that's all I wanted to say for today. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Perla from Senator Ramos's office.
Hello, my name is Perla Liberato. I am the community liaison at the Senator Jessica Ramos's office. I think this is the first time that I joined community board for. I think it used to be my previous colleague, Mary. So I just wanted to introduce myself. I don't have any updates as of now, but I know we are working on having events for the month of June, July, August, and September. Um, Specifically when it comes to health, resource events, and as well as we have some events coming up in September. Related to indigenous communities. So we're having an Indian summit and we're supporting an organization that works directly with indigenous communities in Mexico and Central America. So we're hoping to to make those events happen in September. Um, And I think that's it from my end. Yeah, just wanted to introduce myself as well.
Thank you.
Okay, next is Shamina from Councilmember Shaker's office.
Hi everyone, my name is Shamina Rahman. You'll have to excuse me, I do have a cold, so I sound a little weird. Thank you for having me. I just have a few announcements. First is Happy Pride Month. We're so excited that we're able to have the new Queen's Pride Parade in our district again after a 2-year hiatus during sorry, during COVID, the pandemic. So very happy to see all the beautiful faces in our community come out and celebrate with our district. And also, we are excited to announce for the summer that there are events coming up, such as Movies Under the Stars. We had Encanto play at the Travers Park, and then we had Raya play at O'Connor Playground. There will be a few other movies during the summer, and we'll also be having a puppet show in different languages throughout the district. I do want to also mention there are a few upgrades to intersections in our district by DOT to make the area safer. And you will see the improved infrastructure soon. Please do follow our newsletter to get the updates on which corners and streets will be updated as soon as the summer. And if you haven't already, please check out the Queen's Night Market, which was this past weekend as well, and will be continuing throughout the summer. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay, next up is James Mangeluso from the Controller's Office. James?
Hi, so James Mangeluso here from the New York City Controller's Office, and I have a few announcements. I'll put some of the information into the chat. Well, actually, I have it on host right now, so I'll put it on all attendees. So first thing I want to say is we have our updated LGBTQ plus guide. So it has a lot of resources for the LGBTQ plus community, and we obviously bring it out during this month. And actually, Controller Lander was at the Pride Parade, just a block off of away from Community Board 4, the one in Jackson Heights. So if anyone's interested in that guide, the link is there, and please spread it around if you know people that might have use for it. It has a lot of resources of different organizations throughout every borough. Has some national organizations as well that provide assistance for the LGBTQ community, as well as just some groups, even like social groups, things of that nature. In addition to that, we do have our checkbook NYC demos, though today were the two that probably most pertain to Community Board 4. I know I sent it out to some of you, but if anyone is interested in looking at contracts for NYCHA or spending contracts for NYCHA, I know there's no NYCHA developments in CB4. Oh, I'm sorry. That will be on the 16th, and I can put that into the chat if anyone is interested in that. Though again, I realize that it doesn't really pertain to this board too much, but perhaps you know people that might find it useful. Let's see. In terms of our newsroom, I can post the newsroom into the chat so you can look at some of our updates. But we did put a statement out on the new budget, fiscal year 2023 budget, which was just agreed upon between the city council and the mayor. We do have statements on the proposed funding cuts to schools as well. Controller Lander is not in favor of these proposed cuts because there were many schools in which the attendance dropped in the post-pandemic years. Overall, attendance in New York City public schools dropped in general. We also have our fiscal economic outlook newsletter. We're doing it bi-monthly now, though June 6th was the last one. And in terms of some of our reports, we have the quarterly cash report is out. The cash balance projection for the city is out as well. And we did do an audit on a few different things, but so if anyone's interested in that, I will just put that into the chat so you can check out all the reports and the audits themselves, and then you can check out anything in the newsroom that might interest you. And lastly, for all the board members here and the general public, if anyone's interested in pitching any events for Controller Lander to attend, I'm looking to get him into the district hopefully in the summer because we have less of a packed schedule. So I'd like him to be in Corona and Elmhurst. If you have any ideas for particular events you'd like him to attend, like him to speak at, let me know, and perhaps we can get him into the district. So please let me know that. And again, if you need to contact me, you can reach me at 646-689-6509. Again, that's 646-689-6509, and I'll put that in the chat. Thanks.
Thank you, James.
Okay, and then finally we have Elizabeth from the Queen's DA's office.
Hello and good evening, everyone. And thank you for having me speak and provide updates from the Office of Queens District Attorney Melinda Katz. So first, I'd like to wish everyone happy Pride Month. And since we are the World Borough, I'm also extending wishes to those celebrating Caribbean American Heritage Month and the Philippines Independence Day, and also Juneteenth, which is coming up. So today, 2 hours ago, District Attorney Melinda Katz just celebrated the Pride Month with our public. So if you didn't get a chance to attend, you can go back to our Facebook to take a look of that celebration. And also, I have a quick updates. For this month, early month, the district attorney joined Governor Kathy Hochul and state lawmakers for the signing of 10 bills aimed at strengthening gun laws in New York State. So as for our office, we investigate and prosecute those who bring guns into our borough. And since August of 2021, our office has conducted a total of 11 illegal firearms investigation in Queens. So our office will continue to utilize all tools at our disposal to ensure the well-being of Queens of residents. So we wish everyone enjoy the summer, have a safe summer. Thank you for having me today.
Thank you so much. So Christina, is that it for the representatives tonight?
Yes, that's it. And we now have 25 board members, so we just need one more.
I actually, because Christian Romero, I know, I just saw it came out. Oh yeah, I do have 25. Okay. All right, just wanted to make sure. Okay, so we're almost there. All right, so we're going to move on. The agenda. This is, I really wish we could have a quorum right now. Okay. Christian's still there, right? So the next is the presentation from the Department of Parks and Recreation. Okay, Christian. Yeah, we need one more person for a quorum. So tonight we have the William F. Moore Park design. So I believe we can start the presentation. Ashley, do you want to say anything before?
No, I'll give my remarks after the presentation.
Okay, all right. So then we're ready for the presentation.
Who from Parks is going to be sharing their screen so I can make them? James?
It's Jim Matuzis, yes. Thank you.
Right. All right, you should have presenter capability, James.
All right, thank you. How's that?
No, we're not seeing anything yet.
All right.
Yeah, there we go.
Great. Now I can see it. Let me. Okay. All right. Good evening. Tonight, I'm going to present you the schematic design that we have prepared for William F. Moore Park. Thanks to the generous funding by the Borough President Donovan Richards and Councilman Moyer. The goals for the project were to create a safe park for everybody, one that could incorporate gatherings and many different activities. Of course, everybody knows where it is, the heart of Corona, right down the block from you all.
Hey, Jim, I can't see the presentation. I don't know if others can. I'm seeing a WebEx.
No, we can't see it. It just has the screen.
Okay, let me See what I can do here.
Try minimizing your browser, James.
Okay. Give me a second. Let me escape here and go back into WebEx.
Screen we see says, thanks for using Cisco WebEx.
Okay. That's strange. All right. Bear with me here. Huh.
Jim, if you can't get it, I could put it on my screen and I'll just forward it for you.
Okay, why don't we try that? Can everybody transfer it to Anthony Buscano?
Yep,
And
doing
then,
that right now.
all right, perfect. Thanks, Anthony.
Okay, Anthony, you got it.
Okay.
There you go.
All right, you guys can see that?
Back in business.
All right, great. So, Anthony, you could advance it to the right here. Okay, so we're in the heart of Corona. This is William F. Moore Park. Next. All right, so coastal flood risk. You can see Flushing Meadows definitely has a coastal flood risk, but the park is high and dry. Neighborhood is mostly single family residential, and there's a little commercial around the site. Next. 5 to 10 minute walk. We have a variety of different green spaces, but William F. Moore Park is very important to the neighborhood. Next. Okay, so this is the existing conditions. You can tell that it's bordered by 51st Avenue, Corona Avenue, and 108th Street. I think you guys all know the park very well. I don't have to dwell on the existing conditions. This is a site analysis. We look at it and, we have visited the park many, many times over the years, as well as during this project. So we just had to basically go through the whole site, analyze what we think is going on here. And of course, it's a old park that's worn, that's well loved, and we need to take care of it. Next. All right, so here are some existing condition photos. You can see some of the sight lines into the park are not there because the plants are a little bit overgrown. Sidewalks need to be replaced. Next. You can see the grade on 51st Avenue is actually raised, so pay special attention to that. We have a surprise for you later on that. And then you can see the evergreen tree in the middle there. It's sort of like overcrowding the two white birches there. Next. Okay, so you can see the rich materials here. There's nice brick, but then right around the flagpole, that pavement has failed over the years, so that needs to be replaced. Next. Of course, the bocce court, the sink and a barbecue in the back there that is no longer functioning. Next. All right, so we had a community input meeting back in December, and we heard a lot of things, but we heard about seating. We heard about having a clean, safe park. That was priority number one. And we heard about whether or not we could have space for temporary art installations and community events. So we gathered all that community input, and that's why we're here tonight, and we have a schematic. Next. All right, so here's the schematic. We basically have 51st Avenue. We dropped the grade. Okay, so there's no longer steps. So that was a big move for us. We were able to do that by cutting, and then it's accessible to all. So on all three sides, every entrance, if you're happen to be in a wheelchair or if you have a stroller, you can enter the park without going up staircase. So that's number one. That's like a big move. But in order to do that, we need to preserve the trees. And you know, as you're aware, the trees are at a certain grade. So then the bigger trees now become trees that are in a planter bed. And then around those planter beds, there are going to be planter walls. So you'll see that further on in the presentation. I can talk about that in the details. We're going to use the 1939 World's Fair bench with the RPL wood, nice colors. We have the public space receptacles around, so we'll have plenty of garbage cans. Of course, the bocce court will be completely recreated, completely redone. We'll have recreational lighting, so then it can be played at night if there's a special event. Throughout the entire park, there's going to be decorative pavement that we're going to go through the entire site to keep that legacy of rich materials through the park that you enjoy. So
Redoing Spaghetti Park.
right. So
Corona.
here now. And let's see, pre-K.
My dog, you need to go outside.
You can go outside and visit the park, right? So, all right, we got concrete pavement. All the sidewalks are done. We have granite hex block pavement around the flagpole area. We have the existing flagpole. We have bottle fillers, you know, for drinking water, and then you know, we have some accent lighting. Let's go to the details, Anthony. Next page.
Hold on one second.
Here's an important part.
Christina, can you mute people who?
Yeah, I'm looking for the person right now to do that.
Thank you, guys.
I think it's James Mangialuso, Chris.
Very good. Oh shit.
Yep.
Almost died. Do you see that?
It's James. It's definitely James.
All right, so we have a 4-foot fence around the entire park with gates at all the entrances. So that was important to the neighborhood. We want to be able to secure the park at night. And if, you know, vagrants try to get into the park, you know, if there's a locked fence around the whole park, it makes it harder to do that. So that was an important thing. So 4 feet around the entire park. Next. Lighting. Lighting is extremely important here. This diagram shows the photometrics that we did. So you can have a well-lit park, very secure. We made sure that the sight lines into the park are completely unobstructed. By doing the dropping of the grade at 51st Avenue, that's very integral in getting an unobstructed view into the park. So that was very important to us. Next. All right, so here are some of the details. The top left of the slide, you see the planter curb wall. So we're going to do like precast planter walls, and they're going to almost act as a seating wall too. To the right of that, we have a bottle filler with a high and low drinking fountain for accessibility, and for, you know, when you're thirsty, you can fill your bottle there as well. 1939 World's Fair bench. You're familiar with that, with the armrests. They help prevent people from sleeping on the benches, and they're very comfortable. And then the armrests themselves can help you get in and out of the seat. Accent lighting. We're going to try to do some accent lighting to give a little pizzazz to the park. Security lighting. I showed you the diagram, which showed you the photometric of a well-lit park, and that's the security lighting that we're going to use there. Decorative pavement. Of course, you know, something to keep the rich materials there. Public space receptacles, something to help keep the park clean. Garbage cans are important. And then game tables, you know, with a bistro table seating. You can eat lunch there again. You could play chess and checkers. We'll have versions of those tables that have one seat missing. So if you are in a wheelchair, you can pull right up to the table, and those tables will be a little bit higher so you can fit underneath them. So you're going to get a really, really nice park. Next. Okay, so plant material. All the plant material we're trying to use, of course, we're going to do some shade trees to provide more shade. But then all the ground covers and shrubs that we're planning to do here are all going to be low growing to help preserve that unobstructed view to keep the security that is so important at this park to have. And so we're going to keep them nice and low and manicured. Next. All right, so we're back to the schematic plan, and I could take any questions if you have any.
Okay, board members, if anyone has any questions or comments, please raise your hand.
Marilyn, I mean, maybe now would be, I can't tell you how to do the meeting, but I'll report on the items that were discussed by the committee, but I think maybe now's a good time for Ashley or any member of the committee to discuss, requests that we had specific to the parks, including the paneling on the floor, the signage, et cetera, et cetera. Want to maybe elaborate on that before we ask the same redundant questions from the same?
Ashley, if you want to give the committee's report.
Sure. So we met on the 8th last week. We had a full quorum, and we unanimously voted to support this proposal. Like Mr. Matuza said, there was a community input meeting back in December, and we were very pleased that all of the community suggestions were taken into account. We were satisfied that they were able to preserve the bocce ball court. We're satisfied that the stairs will be removed, it'll be leveled so it's easily accessible. We were satisfied with the gates and the fencing and the overall aesthetics of the park. We're very pleased with it. We think it'll be a good thing for the community. The only request that we really had was that historical signage be included. We wanted something to, just talk a little bit about who William F. Moore was. And really going forward, our request was that every park that, gets renovated in our district includes some type of historical signage. Just to preserve the heritage and the culture, and just so, folks could learn a little bit about, who these parks are named after. Otherwise, we really didn't have much complaints. We did consider planting, and we did want to have perhaps an evergreen tree so that we can so that the tree will be there for tree lightings. However, it was suggested that because evergreens grow so large, it might one day overshadow the park and be out of character. So we were willing to compromise on that. But we do really highly request that some type of historical signage be included with this design.
Ashley, just to address the historic signage, we will include the historic signage.
Thank you.
Ashley, I know we also talked about, since we couldn't have an evergreen, an outlet for the tree lightings.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yes, that will be included as well. An outlet to help provide tree lighting and any gathering that needs to support any speakers or anything like that will have an outlet. Yes.
Great. And I know Al and Vinny have brought up that the current statues and memorabilia will be remaining there as well, just in case anybody had that question as well.
Correct.
Any questions or comments from any board members?
Yes, I have a question, Marilena.
Sure, Lou.
What is the timetable on this project?
Right. So we're at the we're still in the design phase, and that's basically a few months into it. So we're here at the board now. I have approximately a year to get this approved and through our internal processes. And then after that, we enter the procurement phase. And the procurement phase is where, the controller and everybody reviews the contract, our city attorneys, and then we actually get a bidder on board here and we select a contractor. All that happens in the procurement phase. That's about 10 months. So we're about 2 years, a year and a half, let's say, away from shovels in the ground to where we have to close the park to renovate it. And then the park construction itself will take approximately a year to do. So, we're looking at, it's essentially a 3-year process from design to built environment. So.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any other questions or comments from any fellow board members?
Vincent, I just want to thank James and his team for also including the fence that will be able to be locked at night to forget, to stop what's going on there now. And just him and his team, thank you very much. And we're very pleased with that we selected option C. And thank you to the board. I hope everybody votes for it.
Yes, thank you, Vincent. No, we appreciate it. It's our pleasure to design this park. And the one thing what we do ask for is either from the Parks Committee or the full board, a letter of recommendation if you do vote yes. This way we can proceed in our process and go to the Public Design Commission.
Any other board members or?
Just to
Or
follow
okay.
up, Marilena, the chair,
Yeah.
this is Lara. So when the park itself is going to be constructed, what is there like an alternative or park that has been where people can be directed when that happens? Because you did say that it's going to be about a year in the making.
Right, right. I know, Anthony, if you can go back to the slide, which shows a 5 to 10 minute walk for green spaces. So yeah, I mean, here's your surrounding green spaces. You know, essentially within a 5-minute walk, you have maybe a Corona Playground. You have Caminiti. You also have Simeone Park. You know, so you do have a couple of green spaces where you can go to during the hiatus here. So
Thanks.
Will you be putting any signage while the park is closed in terms of like other parks that they can visit, like Lara was saying, just in case people aren't aware?
we typically put up a construction sign that announces the work that's being done there. But if suggestion for other parks to visit are needed, we can work with our borough office to see if they can put up a sign like that. We typically don't do that in a capital project, but we can work with our borough office to see if something like that could be put up onto the fence.
Okay, great.
Yes, that would be helpful.
Okay.
Any other board members have any comments or questions?
Marilena, we have a quorum now, so we can vote.
Okay, great.
There are questions in the chat though, just in case you guys are.
Yeah, so there was a question from Renoka about vagrants. The Parks Department is very aware of the situation at the park, so their design is going to incorporate ways to deter that from happening. And then also, Ergun Sherpa, can you explain what is there for children?
Okay, so for children, I mean, we have the bocce. I know my son plays bocce, and he's 13 now, but he started playing bocce when he was like 9, 8 years old. So bocce is definitely an active thing that I think is multi-generational. And then there's open space around the flagpole, so kids like to run around and play hopscotch, do
They
short
have bocce
stuff like that.
Dude's son plays bocce, Jacoba. And that's what his like.
I didn't get that.
Sorry, I don't know what the interference was. Sorry
Okay,
about that.
so-
But yeah,
so-
I just wanted to note that this is not a playground. This is a park. So traditionally, usually playgrounds have activities for children, and this is a park. So there's definitely a difference there.
Right,
Am
right.
I correct, James?
Yes, that's correct. This isn't a playground, it's a park. But like I said, it's like, it's still a park that's designed for everyone. It's multi-generational. The bocce is certainly a thing that could be passed on to younger kids and, with supervision and they can play. And like I said, open passive area where you have seating, You can sit down and you watch your kids, write on chalk on the ground, but it's not a playground. Caminiti is very close. That's a playground. But yeah, this is a park.
Also, yeah, and if I may just jump in really quickly, and just answer the question, Renoka. While there isn't necessarily facilities for children in that park, I will certainly attest to the fact that that park sees a lot of events for children. One of our local former board members, former Parks Chair Al Perna, along with the local councilman, even us, we do a lot of events over there. We've done Easter egg hunts. There's Valentine's Day events. There are a lot of little permitted events that take place in that park pretty constantly throughout the entire summer. So it's while it's not an active playground, there are a lot of children-related events in the area. I'll say that much.
Right, there's
In
tree
the park.
lightings on,
Correct.
right, yeah, there's events that go on there. And also, like James was saying, I don't know if anyone's up to it in the community, but you could have a little, a children's bocce tournament or games. That would be cool, if someone wanted to start that up.
Could I just add that if any of the board members are curious about the game of bocce, Al Perna has been doing it bocce every Tuesday night for seniors the last 4 weeks, and we've seen seniors come out. It started with 5. We're up to about 25 to 30 seniors who come and sit in the park, knowing that it's safe to be in the park. And as far as living here for 42 years, women used to always come and sit with a baby carriage in the park. It's only the last 5 or 6 years that most of our parks have been taken over by vagrants and drunks. So that park has always had children there, and I'm part of a lot of children's organizations that we do annually up there, from Easter egg hunts to Christmas giveaways to food giveaways. So it's for everyone. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, Vinny.
And just to confirm, the park will be closed at night. Is that right?
Correct.
Okay, so if there's no other comments or questions, we can move on to a vote.
How many entrance? 5 entrance?
6.
I'm sorry, Mr. Chen?
I say entrance. I heard 6.
Yes.
I thought it was 5. Oh, okay, 6.
Right, so you have entrances all along 51st Avenue, 108th Street, and Corona Avenue. And then if you count like the gates, Anthony's counting with his fingers there. 1, 2, 3.
It's basically 2 on each street.
All right, so that's 6. Triangle 6. Yep. Thanks, Anthony.
I have a quick question. Is it possible for the bottle filler and drinking fountains to be outside the fence area so people can access that after hours?
That's something that we wouldn't typically do because we want to secure that they could get vandalized. So after hours, it would be better to have the drinking fountain within the park so it can be protected. So I wouldn't recommend putting the bottle filler outside the park.
And Jim, I don't think we can either, right? Since that's
No.
DOT's property.
Yeah, because it's DOT right away and it needs to be on parks property. So
Yeah, no, traditionally that wouldn't be something that you would see, Jamie. That's always inside park property. Okay, so if there's no other further questions or comments, we can move on to a vote. We have a quorum now.
Make a motion that we take a vote on approving or recommending, rather, that the design be accepted.
I second the motion, Madam Chairperson.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Clara. Do we need to do a roll call, or is everyone agree? Agree.
Agree.
I agree.
Okay, I'm just checking everyone.
Laura Gregory votes yes, only subject to the addition that they will include signs of other options for the parks when it's closed for construction.
Okay. So yeah, I think Ashley has the recommendations from the park committee that she talked about earlier. So I know that would be included in the letter, and then also signs pertaining to other park options. I guess we can add that, right, Ashley?
Yes, we can include that in our letter of recommendation.
Okay, great. So yeah, everyone's seen, I don't see any no's. I've just been looking on the camera. Everything seems to be okay. So in case anyone says no or abstains right now, we are going to pass this motion. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Good night.
All right.
Thank you. Good night. Okay, so we do have a quorum. I know we have another vote. I kind of want to do the minutes because I know we've been pushing that. So I'm going to make a request that we, the board vote someone makes a motion to accept the main minutes, unless anyone has any corrections.
Yes.
Clara, I think you're trying to speak, but I see you, but you're unmuted.
Yes, now. And I move that step. Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Well, I move that we accept the minutes, the main minutes as presented.
Okay, thank you, Clara.
Second the motion.
Seconds, okay. So Clara made a motion to accept the main minutes, and then Lou second. Any no's? Any corrections? All right, I'm just looking. I don't see anything.
Martin, I
Okay, the motion passes. Thank you.
Thank you.
Clara, can you mute yourself? We're getting a lot of static.
I'm trying to.
Okay, so we're going to go on to the next vote. First, the Public Safety and Homeland Security Committee. We'd like to hear the report, and then we will vote.
Okay, I think.
Excuse me, Maria Elena, shouldn't we go back to the bylaws?
Oh, no, Carol, I don't think you were on. Lou made a report. He's the chairperson of the bylaw committee, and he did make a report that they're working on it. He stated the two sections that they're working on, and they're going to be presented in September.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So Marilena, Georgina here.
Yes, Georgina.
So Christina has all the information on the public safety meeting. She'll present it.
Okay, thank you, Georgina.
Okay. So for the denials, we have number 3 on the new applicants, PCR Food Incorporated, DBA Chicken Festival, which was located at 8956 Elmhurst Avenue. We denied them because the person who showed up didn't have any information about the business. So we asked them to come back with somebody who can actually speak to the operation of the business. Next was number 4 on the new applicants, Sumac Restaurant Incorporated. DBA is Vazo. They were a no-show. So we're going to write a letter asking them to come to our next meeting. Let's see. Next was number 4 on the renewals, La Mexican Inc., DBA El Gallo Negro, located at 111-12 Roosevelt Avenue. They also did not come, and they had a few issues on their police report, so we're asking them to come to our next meeting. Same with Mi Ultra Casa Restaurant Bar, that's number 6 on the renewals. That's located at 9106 43rd Avenue. Again, they had some issues on their police report, so we're asking them to attend our next meeting. And then finally, for the denials, we have the method of operation change. That's number 1, Brothers Bar Corp, DBA Duo Gastropub. And they were denied due to a lot of noise complaints, and then their method of operation changed. They wanted to add karaoke and third-party promoters, and the committee was not comfortable with that, so they voted to deny.
Okay, great. Thank you, Christina.
No problem.
Does anyone have any questions?
or does anyone want to make a motion?
I make a motion to accept the report.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Anybody have any no's? Any abstentions? If not, I'm looking now. If not, the motion passes. Okay, the motion passes. Thank you. Okay, so moving on, we're going to go to committee reports. Consumer Affairs. I don't think Michelle is on. No, okay. Environmental, Carol?
Yeah, before I do the report, I just want to mention that I actually saw a worker servicing some of the rain gardens on 51st Avenue near 90th Street this morning. Something I don't see very often, and thought it would be a good idea to mention it. We didn't have a committee meeting this month in May, and QSWAB was kind of involved in legislative activities. They had two bills on the agenda to discuss, but they got sidetracked by the fact that they wanted to do electronic voting. Only we don't have an amendment in the bylaws to permit that. So they decided to table the two discussions on the legislation of Assembly Bill 4308 and Senate Bill 1278, both of which are related to tobacco waste reduction and prohibits the sale or offering for sale of cigarettes utilizing single-use filters or single-use electronic cigarettes. At the moment, though, because I checked on the website to the New York State Assembly and Senate, both bills are still in committee. They haven't gone anywhere at this point. And the issue of the electronic voting problem is going to be looked into for the next month and see if they can do a change in the bylaws. In the meantime, they'll just send a letter to recommend on behalf of QSWAB that these be supported. The chairman, I did attend, that was the 25th, the May 25th meeting. Our speaker was Kat Bresler of the Queensborough President Office. And the topic was Operation Urban Sustainability, which wants to form a group to compile a report on all the waste topics and involve the other agencies. And the planning boards themselves, though, would have input as far as helping this group collect information about the different waste topics. And it was voted and approved that the QSWAB would be involved in this, and by extension, so would the planning boards. Those were the two highlights of the meeting. There should be another meeting this month on the 22nd, I think it is. 22nd of June. And that's the end of my report.
Thank you, Carol. Health and Human Services, Clara?
We're going to have a Health and Human Services meeting on June 27th at 7 p.m. And it promises to be a very exciting and informational and educational meeting. It will be hosted and sponsored by the Health and Hospital Corporation, and some probably we're trying to get somebody from the CDC also to join the presenters. So I think it's going to be very exciting and end of the year meeting, and I look forward to seeing all of you in the meeting. Thank you.
Thank you, Clara. Okay, Transportation Committee, Matt? Is Matt still on?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Arg. Let me find it again. You can hear me, right, Mary Elena?
Yeah, I can hear you.
I'm very sorry about that. Okay. The Transportation Committee actually has met twice since our last meeting. On one occasion, we received from the John O'Neill, who is our board's representative from Queens DOT, a list of new approvals of always stop signs, always stops, basically, for a few intersections. Glean Street and Elmhurst Avenue, which actually originated with PS 89, not with us. 98th Street and Christie, 55th Avenue and Seabury, 78th and Woodside, and 80th Street and 41st Avenue. The 80th and 41st is something that we have been working on for a while, trying to slow down traffic on the north side of the hospital. So that's a very good news. I also should just mention that John, in his conversation with the committee, complimented Christian very effusively, and said, basically said that Christian was great at following up on various issues related to transportation in the district, and I just wanted to share that with the members of the board. I should tell George. I should just say this briefly, especially to Georgina Oliver, who raised the question of Junction and 57th Avenue at our last meeting. DOT is looking at it. They have scheduled it to be scheduled improvements to the ramp, to the curb cut, for a contract for the winter of 22. There are some technical issues that they will have to work through to make sure it's possible. So it's not a done deal, but you should know, especially Georgina and other people who live in the greater Left Rack area, that is being dealt with by DOT.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And really thank, I would say, Christian and John O'Neill, who did all the legwork. We also had a special meeting just a couple of weeks ago with the MTA, who are planning to do a reconstruction of several of the stations on the 7 train above Roosevelt Avenue. A couple of them are in Woodside, but several of them, 3 of them, are in Ward 4. A minor part of this contract is that the existing escalator at the west end of the 74th Street Roosevelt Avenue mezzanine is going to be replaced. Apparently it's been problematic, and so that's going to be part of this. Most of it is related to 82nd Street, 103rd Street Corona Plaza, and 111th Street, where they are doing significant improvement, new stairs, refurbished platforms, new back wall they call the windscreen. We have not seen detailed designs, and we said that we would like to, and they said that they would share when the job was bid out, but not before. I think their concern is giving construction companies an unfair advantage of seeing stuff. I don't know. They're going to phase it such that any closures are never on both sides of the same station. It looks like 82nd Street and 111th Street are basically going to be paired, so that there will be times when the Manhattan-bound platforms at 82nd and 111th will be closed at the same time, and then later, ditto, Flushing bound. And then 103rd Street Corona Plaza is separate, is dealt with separately, a different phasing, so that nobody ever has to go more than one extra station while this job is going on. They are saying, and I think this is very preliminary, that they anticipate the closures will be 5 months or 6 months at the different stations. more detail, I think, coming in the fall. And that is it, I believe.
Can I
Thank
ask
you,
a
Mary
question,
Lynn.
Matt? Can I ask a
I'm
question,
sorry.
please?
Oh, sure, of course.
So, renovating some of the subway stations like Grand Avenue, Elmhurst Avenue, do they have, or Northern Boulevard, you know, for the M&R trains, do they have any idea when they might do something in those in those three stations in particular? The M&R train?
I don't believe they're planning. I don't believe there's currently a project. The following, Woodhaven Boulevard, there are plans, and I believe it's imminent for the construction of an elevator.
Yes.
So there'll be ADA access there.
Right.
But not for a total station rehab. I believe there is also an elevator going in at the 65th Street station on the M and the R, which is in, I'm not sure, it's either in Board 3 or Board 2. We have said that in our budget request, which the MTA sees, I'm told, we've asked for station rehabs for Elmhurst Avenue and Broadway Grand Avenue. But obviously the MTA is trying to spread the wealth. So I don't know that we'll be seeing those stations done in any time in the near future. I don't have any information, but they clearly are trying to spread nice stuff around the city.
Okay, thank you.
Anytime.
I have a quick question. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, it's Michelle. Has there been any more, I know like the last meeting for the MTA bus redesign was like 2 weeks ago. Has there been any more conversation about the redesign of the buses? Are they going to host any more meetings?
I don't think they're going to host any more meetings right now. I think right now they're waiting for comments to come in based on the first round. There is another round of comments after they revise their plan. I don't know the time frame for that. I would think the winter, but I don't know. I don't think there are going to be more, but after the changes to the plan, not right now.
Thank you.
Right. So everyone's encouraged to write comments with the current plan, and I believe we included that link on the email for this meeting. So if you wanted to get that link directly, go to the email for tonight's meeting where the agenda is, and then underneath, you scroll down, there's a link that you guys can press to add your comments.
Let me add one more thing on that, Mary Elena. Thank you for saying that, because it reminded me of this. In the big unwieldy document that they have put out, which everybody should look at, find your bus and look at the route they're telling you. On I think it's page 45, there is a link to a microsite that has a map, an interactive map. You can click on the location of the map and say, either thank you very much for putting this bus stop here, or routing this bus here, or please put a bus stop here, or don't take a bus stop away here, or consider this change to the route. And it's pretty easy to do. Click on the corner of the location you're talking about, a little box shows up. Try to be taciturn, put it in as few words as you possibly can, and give them your comment. And it's a very easy way to comment, and they're going to see it. They see all the comments.
Okay,
that's great.
Thank you.
Thank you, Matt.
Excuse me if I may.
Okay. Yeah.
On the MTA bus redesign, now that people are talking about it, there is an upcoming presentation and feedback that I know of. So the Queensborough President's Office is having, or has, a thing called the Queens Civic Engagement Committee, and they reached out to new board members and anyone could sign up. But on on June 16, they will be hosting a Queens Civic Engagement Committee meeting, and the borough president will be present, and they're basically asking for people to show up and give their feedback, and they'll see a presentation from the MTA on the bus redesign, and that'll be at 5:30 on Thursday, June 16th. If anyone would want, I can find the link, share it, or pass it on to the community board office, and they can share it with everyone. So yeah, that's pretty much it.
Okay, great. Yes, send that email to the board office. Thank you. Okay, so moving on, ULURP committee. Alton?
Okay, good evening. We have the application pending for the bazaar on 57th Avenue. I just checked and it seems like it was certified. It must have been certified around June 8th, I imagine. So we have until June 15th until September 12th to review the application and to have a hearing on the application. We have a date for Tuesday, I believe, the 21st, a Europe meeting to review the application. And that's about it as far as Europe is concerned.
Thank you, Alton. Okay, youth committee? Sylvia?
Oh, hi. We did have a meeting for the month of May, so I don't really have anything to report, but we will have something coming September.
Thank you, Sylvia. And I just want to go back to the Parks Committee because I know it was part of the presentation, but Ashley, do you have anything else to add in terms of anything with your committee?
I'll just add that we also met with John Wang. He was present at the meeting. He just gave us some updates about the night market, particularly pertaining to the fact that he might have a conflict, being that there's other activities going on in the park this summer, including a concert and the reconstruction of the Hall of Science parking lot. So he just came to give us some updates and to, if we were interested, you know, perhaps writing a letter of support to vouch for him if he has to relocate.
All right, and you also want to mention about the Hoffman playground redesign because I know it was in the agenda email, but in case people didn't see it.
Oh, yes. There is a Hoffman redesign community input meeting coming up. I don't remember when. I think, is it next week? Sorry, I don't have it in front of me.
Oh, it's okay. So yeah, it's in the email that we sent, you know, the board sent out for tonight's meeting. If you scroll down, there's a lot of great information. I always encourage people to look at the information in the email. There's a scoping meeting, and that's going to take place next Thursday, June 23rd at 6:30. It's going to be on Zoom. So it's actually in that email, and so you have the information on how to join the meeting. But that's important because, like you saw, you know, tonight's meeting, you know, Ashley's Park Committee, you know, they met, they saw the design. But even before that happens, you know, these scoping meetings have to happen. So everyone should definitely check that out and join in. Okay.
And that's it, nothing
Thank
further.
you, Ashley. Thank
Yeah,
you.
Marilyn,
Okay,
and
so
I mean, go ahead. I only want to put one minor emphasis on everything that was said so far. I cannot express, again, I am the third person. I'm urging everybody to please attend this meeting. Hoffman Park has been an enormous subject of ours for many years now. Since I become district manager, I've been fighting to get Hoffman Park funded. We finally got the funding. It's coming from several different sources. Please do your best. We've held the youth fair there. We've had petitions. We're playing with the concept of putting a racetrack around there. And if anybody has access to our needs statement for the last 10 years, you'll see that Hoffman Park has always been in that top 5, top 10. And I think last year was actually in the very, very, very top. So excellent news, but I can't express how important it is that we show up to this. All right. So thank you, Marilyn.
yes, definitely. Okay, so we're going to go to the last session of our meeting.
Marilena, this is Michelle Dunstan. How are you? I'm sorry I'm so late. I did catch some of it. And the consumer affair, we did not meet, but I did send out text to them. And so we will be planning in September to, you know, be more active.
Okay, great. Thank you so much, Michelle. So we are going into the open session number 2. So members of the board, you know, if you have anything else that you want to state or talk about, now's the time. But before we do get to that, I just want to say that I hope everyone stays connected over the summer. I know everyone's going to be busy and enjoying themselves. Let's stay connected, look at the emails, and just try to, like, you know, continue looking at, you know, these upcoming meetings that we're having, especially for the month of June, at least, because it's great to have everyone's participation. So that's all I want to say. Enjoy your summer. And then hopefully in September, we all get to meet and have an actual meeting in person. I know it's been like over 2 years now. So I know a lot of people are ready to come back. So hopefully that we'll see everyone in September. So anyone has any comments now? Anything they want to discuss?
So what happened with our co-workers, the board member, Singh Gadip, the Indian guy? What happened with him? I don't see him. Yeah. Gurdip, right?
Gurdip. Yeah, Christian, I don't know if you want to talk about that.
Yeah, no, so I mean, very basically, he didn't get his application in on time. It was as simple as that. The ultimate decision was made by the borough president's office and of course our elected officials. But that is the process. As to my understanding, Mr. Narilla did not follow the entire process. I think he left a lot of his application unfilled out, and I know for a fact that we tried at the office. I know for a fact that Borough Hall tried, but he ultimately said that he just chose to stand down on account of not being willing to fill out the paperwork. So he is no longer a member of the board.
Yeah, unfortunately, Gurdip Narula, he was on the board for a long time, but for some reason he couldn't get his full, like he couldn't complete the application, so they couldn't accept it.
So as long as he's physically healthy, he's healthy, right? Everything's physical is okay.
Yes, and we haven't heard otherwise, but yes, it's certainly not a health issue. So yes, he is in good health. Thank you. As far as we know.
Okay, thank you. That's the news I want to hear. Yeah.
Thank you, Mr. Chen.
Thank you, Mr. Chen. Thank you.
Thank you.
Any other board members have any comments or questions?
Chair Marilena, if there are other members of the board who want to commiserate with the Committee on Public Safety, because we'll be meeting in person. I think we continue to meet even during the summer months. So please join us.
Yeah, public safety is definitely one of the committees that don't get a rest in the summer. So yeah, like Lara said, that would be great if, you know, everyone can join in on their meetings, which are going to be in person soon. So just look out for the email notifications, because, you know, that's where all the information is going to be at the meeting, the date, where they're meeting, what it's about. So just, it's really important to check your emails. But thank you, Lara. That's true. You guys never get a break in the Public Safety Committee.
So the state of emergency allowing us to meet virtually was actually extended earlier today. So the new deadline is, I believe, July 14th. So the July public safety meeting will be virtual.
Okay.
Thanks, Christina.
Okay, yeah, that also keeps changing. So we have to, thank you, Christina, for bringing that up. We have to keep an eye on that. But yeah, so just keep notice, because over the summer, you know, maybe in August they have to meet, you know, maybe Alton's committee for ULURP or for public safety. So just keep an eye on the emails to show if it's in person or it's still online, the meeting.
So, all right, and Marilena, the last thing I'll say is just that, and we want to thank you, our chair. I mean, for this, been a really rough year. I don't think it's said often enough, but also to the chair and to the staff, to all the chairs for that matter. But again, these meetings are not easy. You see us all with like nice, smooth faces, but the truth is, there's a lot of little buttons being pressed and a lot of sweat, and a lot of panic, but a lot of paperwork that goes into this. But these are not easy to put together, and I cannot do it without the proper board. And my staffers, you know, Christina's always there in the background. She ended up coming late today to the meeting, but she still managed to bang it out. So thank you, what thank yous are due. Thanks to our chair for our leadership and to the staff for the support and allowing us to do so. I looking forward to the summer and September.
And you know,
thank you, Christian.
As community board members, we want to thank all of you. We want to thank Christine and Christian and Marilyn. You kept us going through the hardest times, and we appreciate all the work that you have done. And heads up to you. Thank you, thank you. You have kept this community board going, and we appreciate all the work that you do. Thank you, thank you.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you,
Yeah,
Pat.
definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
It's been a really tough. Oh, sorry. There's an echo. It's been tough. I know it started when Lou, when the pandemic happened. Lou was the chair, and he had to switch automatically to in person, and then same thing. It's been like just such a roller coaster ride. But thank God we all stuck together, and everyone's been great of helping each other out, participating, and hopefully things are getting better, and then we can meet in person, because I know a lot of us know how it was when we met in person. And it's more difficult, I think, definitely online. So some things are easy, but sometimes things can be a little bit more difficult. But thank you, everyone, for sticking through, for standing by your community, and just working together. And thank you, of course, to Christian, Christina, and Margaret at the office. Thank you.
Motion to adjourn.
We need a motion to adjourn, don't we?
Yeah.
I shall make a motion to adjourn.
I second the motion.
Thank you. Thank you, Carol. Thank you, Edgar.
Thank you.
Everyone. Thank you so much, everyone.
Let's have a
Good
great,
night. Good
healthy,
night.
safe summer. Thank you.
Everyone.
Good night.
Thanks, everyone. And happy belated birthday to
Keep healthy.
Sandra and Pat Martin. Happy birthday, Sandra.
Thank you. Bye, everyone. Enjoy your summer.
Pat Martin.
Thank you. I'm still here. Still here. Thank you.
God bless.
Bye. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good
Good
night.
night.
Okay, ladies.